was actually like, I was like, God is very stupid, God is mad. Like I was literally saying that kind of thing. They should just look for space in the market for me to sell pepper, because I'm done. Like, I'm done with this medicine. Nobody should stress me out. Hey, I'm that Christian and I'm back with another video, period. I said I started being serious with God in secondary school. In the second year of secondary school, I was always like falling sick or getting tired or getting distracted and like different kinds of stuff. I failed my exam. I had to, I think, repeat the class. I was always falling sick there. It was like there was no point of me repeating the class in that school. So my parents decided to take me out of that. I wasn't really doing very well academically in that first senior secondary school. But then when I got into that other secondary school, I started getting like, I was the top 3 in my class. Like, that's one good thing that came out of me moving from that school, like failing and not doing well and getting sick in my previous secondary school, and then moving to another secondary school and like being sad about it, but then actually like succeeding very well and stuff. So I'll say it's negative and positive. That's it. When I was in my first year of university, my dad and my brother came to, like, were on their way to come and pick me up from school. Then on their way to school, they had an accident. On the way to the hospital, in the ambulance, the oxygen finished, like Nigerian nonsense ambulance system. There was traffic on the road, like nobody was parting ways for the ambulance to pass. Imagine. He was in a coma for like 1 week, and then they said that he was bleeding to his brain and he'll probably be in a vegetative state, or like when he like recovers, if they should operate on his brain. After that incident happened, I was just concerned because like the entire church was praying for like him to recover and everything, but like nothing happened. Everybody was praying to God, so like why was God putting like on deaf ears? Like, I'm never going to like try to, or better to start trying to build my relationship with God or anything like that. Like, if we could pray to God for him to like save my brother and he did not save my brother, so like what's the point? In my second year of university, and then I started like reading the word again, praying, all those things that I talked about in my previous video. So when I figured out how to pray and all those things, I was now regretting and wishing that I knew how to pray and how to like have faith before that thing happened, because I just believed that like if I prayed, that could have been averted, or it was God's will for him to go. It's been like, I think 5 years now. In my 4th year of university, we had an exam, and then like, you know, this exact kind of exam that people are coming up with different kind of questions, like, oh, if this question is coming out in the exam, this question is coming out in the exam. All the exams that I've passed in my life, in my entire life, I always prepare by myself, read by myself, pray to God, and trust his leading, and then I pass. So I wrote the exam, and then I was getting distracted by people that were saying that these questions will come out in the exam. So instead of me to read the total thing, like the total syllabus and stuff, I was following people that they would be like, this MCQ come out in the exam, I'll follow them. Oh, this theory come out in the exam, I'll follow them. And that's how like I got to the exam hall, and every single time, the first time it happened, I did not learn my lesson. Second time, third time, fourth time, I did not learn my lesson. Every time I would follow them to do the practical, the questions and whatever, and then the exam, it would be totally different questions, and then maybe like 5% of those questions will come out. So obviously 5% of those questions coming out, and then 90% you have to read by yourself. So from my knowledge and everything, I actually passed most of the exams, and I did not pass like I think 1 or 2. But then it was in the particular block, like pathology, so it wasn't really like called a pass, so I had to resit the exam. So I regretted it, but then I was like, but I'm praying and all these things, so like why did God make me fail? I just put that aside, and then I studied very well for the receipt exam. And then when the receipt exam came, I was like totally ready. I was sad and angry and everything because of like having to receipt the exam, because it was a professional exam and I wanted to be done once and for all. The first day of the exam, I fainted in the exam hall, so I was carried and rushed to the emergency room. And then when I got to the emergency room, the dean of the school came to meet, the medical school came to meet me, and he was like, if you do not write this exam now, it's automatic repeat. But I was confused. I was like, I'm like literally in an emergency room, I'm not feeling well, and you can see that you're not blind, but you're telling me if you don't write this exam, it's automatic repeat, so you have to write the exam even though you're sick, or like if possible write it in the emergency room. I don't care. Luckily for me, because I prepared for the exams beforehand, I was able to like get knowledge, because throughout that period I could not revise anything I read. So I wrote the exam, and the dean of the school was like, don't worry, that you should just try your best to write the exam while you are still sick, because if you don't write it, it will automatic repeat. And if you give us your sick report, like if the doctor that saw you should give a sick report, then we'll take it into consideration when marking your script. So my mom doing that, because she was like, can't I just write the exam like after everybody, like when I've calmed down and everything, or when I'm not so sick? But the man was like, no. So the exam results finally came out, and I actually passed everything except one. The pass mark was 50 and I got 46. So now the sick leave thingy now should help me to at least get 50 and then move on with my level and everything. The man now came and looked at the investigation report and the sick leave, and he was like, well, your investigations are negative, so that means you're not really sick, and so therefore we cannot help you. You're going to have to repeat the class. I and my parents were like in shock, and then the matron of the hostel was not like, if you pay us this money, basically asking for bribe. My parents are not like that. They will not pay any bribe. Even me, I was against it. I was like, after I've paid school fees and I did my best, and it was just sickness that made me to not write the exam very well. And I tell him that I should come and pay bribe to pass the exam to be a doctor. Make it make sense. Anyways, my parents are like, no, they're not going to pay any bribe or anything. And so, yeah. They said I should repeat, and then they were saying that I should repeat, like go 2 years back, because like I can't go into the details, but like the repeat thing did not just make any sense to me. And like I was like, if I should repeat and I'll be in the same school and they come and meet the same set of people again in the school, I was like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm not dealing with this school. I'm not doing anything about this school. Like, I'm done with this school. And then I was trying to transfer to another school, and then the school was saying that I have to start from second year again. I cannot start from fourth year or third year or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm leaving this Nigeria. But then my dad was like, you cannot leave Nigeria. You should just try and stay in Nigeria, or if you want to change course, blah, blah, blah. And then I fell into depression. I was just like, they should just look for space in the market for me to sell Pepe, because I'm done. Like, I'm done with this medicine. Nobody should stress me out. I was like, I'm done, because like everything was just so I was very, very upset. I was very angry. I was sad. I was depressed. Everything. And I was like very angry with God. First of all, he made me to fail the main exam. Like, even if I was distracted and not trusting him, he could have at least, I don't know, act of service, my love language, part of it. Why did he not make me pass? Even though like I was distracted and like I was focusing on the materials from other people instead of focusing on God's leading. But still, like so I was upset about that, and I was upset again that he made me fall sick. The first repeat was the senior secondary school, then the second repeat now this university. I was cursing at God during that time. I was like I was like, God is very stupid, God is mad. Like, I was literally saying that kind of thing, that like, you think I'm going to talk to you? Are you joking with me? After he made me feel my exam, that like I was literally cursing at God every single day. And my dad was like, okay, fine, I'm going to like allow you to go abroad. And then every other schools were asking for entrance exam, and I was done with anything exam. Like, I want to just start school. So I found a school, and in Ukraine, and tuition was reasonably okay. Like, it was somewhat similar to the school fees I was paying in my private medical school. So I went to Ukraine. I started medical school, but then because of the academic difference, another repeat again. Because of the academic difference, I could not start from like fourth year or from fifth year. They said I should go to second year. I was like, okay, fine. I'm abroad. I'll have more chances. I'll have more opportunities than even studying back in Nigeria, because like after I finish in Nigeria, it's like sort of tough to like pass the exam and blah 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 to go abroad to the UK or whatever. So I was like, okay, fine. I will do the second year. Let me just be done. July of that year was my birthday. I enjoyed myself. Woo! Birthday! And then about 3 weeks after my birthday, my dad was sick, something, and then he died. Seriously, answer the question, was God not actually like playing with me? I feel like my story was like the story of Job. I feel like the devil was like, this girl that is enjoying her this thing too much is because you're giving her lots of blessings and spiritual blessings. That is why she's serving you. Maybe you should test her by giving her all these hurdles. Because why? And again, just like in my brother's case, everybody in the church was praying. Oh, this person, this pastor, this person here, this thing here, this person, everybody was praying. We were all praying together. I talked to other people too, like some of my schoolmates from my previous university that were praying together with me before when I was there. We're all praying and everything, and then he still died. So at that point, I was just like, okay, like that. I was mute. Like my emotions were mute. Cause like it wasn't the end of the session. It was I still had to attend classes, and it was during like exam period. I still had to study for exams, and I did not want the repeat of like that exam thingy that I had in Nigeria to happen again. So I literally went numb with my emotions, and like I just like I didn't grieve. Like I did not grieve at all. And then I met someone that I was supposed to be like a friend, but wasn't really a friend. Person was like a wolf in sheep's clothing that came to be like a friend, but then messed with my mental health and like took advantage of my vulnerability at that period, creeped into my life, messed with my mental health, and then walked out. Went to lie to the close friends, said some things that were not right about me, and and I was still smiling, cuckoo kaka, not knowing that this person has gone to lie about me to their friends, to their close friends, and then coming and acting as if nothing like that happened, and then me finding out, and then everything just blowing up. Finally, I got over that, and then I moved on. I did my third year. I did my professional exam in the Ukraine. I passed it in like first sitting and everything, no problem. I got to fourth year. When I was in fourth year when I transferred from Nigeria to Ukraine. So when I finally got to fourth year in Ukraine, I was like, oh, finally, I've got to the year where, like the year that I was in Nigeria before I transferred to Ukraine. So I was already glad, like, oh, finally. So fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, I'm done. I'll start working. I'll transfer to wherever I want to transfer to and start working there. I'll be a doctor. And then the war in Ukraine came. 2020, I got to Ukraine. 2021, mental health was a mess. 2022, war started. Can I get a break? Like, can I catch a break? Couldn't I catch a break? I could not catch a break. Why is it me? Like, God, why? Like, we started fourth year, first semester, and the war started. And that was supposed to be the time where I was supposed to finally move forward. During that war time, I was just depressed. Like, do I keep going backwards in my life? Like what exactly is going on? Am I not supposed to be going forward? There'll be times that I'll be like, okay, God is with me. Like, God that has brought me through. I'm still alive, and I could have been dead during the war or whatever. I would pray, and then like obviously the devil will bring thoughts again, like why this should not be happening to me. I can't remember exactly how my prayer life actually like got boosted back up, but it just got somehow. It got boosted back up, and then during the prayers, like I was like, God, like why did all these things happen to me? Because I need answers. Now that I'm like back on track, but I actually need answers before I move forward. If not, I'll keep questioning that. Oh, devil will stop. You start using that to like take me back again, and I don't want to go back again. Like I want to just be going forward. So why exactly did all these things happen to me? Because like you have to tell me. Like, yes, in my flesh, it hurts me. It hurts me that I had to repeat classes. It hurts me that I had to fail exams. It hurts me that my dad had to die, my brother had to die. It hurts me that, my brother died, like, on July 3rd, a day to my birthday. My dad died a few weeks after my birthday. Like, why is it always in July? Like, why is it always around my birthday? Why is it always close to it? Like, why is it always something that is close to my heart, like something that will always make me sad? Like, why are the things always happening around that time? Like, why? Like, I need answers now, God. Like, just lay it plain to me. And it just made it clear that like I was supposed to be in Nigeria. I don't know how to go into the details of whatever, but I'm actually right now where I'm supposed to be, in how I'm supposed to be, the level I'm supposed to be. So all this things that were happening was just all to circle back to bring me to be in this country that I'm in right now, meeting the people that I'm meeting right now, and meeting the person or the persons that I'm supposed to meet right now. So like it's all in God's plan. It's just like when someone is holding your hand and you can't really see the front, or maybe you can, or you know where you're going, but you don't really, like, you can't really see the front because the person is bigger than you and you're just this little child that is just holding your hand. So when the person is dragging you along, like, follow me, you're just following, but you can't really see the front. And so, like, while you're following, you're like jiggling, walking, blah 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 blah. So God is holding my hand and He's taking me through like the journey of life, but then I cannot really see the front. So all the potholes, all the sliding and shaking, and while I'm walking, it's all these things that I actually went through, and now I'm at this point. And I believe that this year is going to be a year of no birth pangs. I've gone through all that. I'm now where I'm supposed to be, and so all things work together for my good now. No more sorrow. Period. It's time to give birth to my baby. Anyways, that's the end of my story. See you next time in my video. I made the video like I promised. So the next video, I don't know what it's going to be about, so just expect the unexpected, okay? And I made my hair myself. Yes, I did that. Bye.